Good afternoon, everyone. So today, we're going to have our short moment of sharing. Last week, I shared with you about the pause. But today, I'll tell you a little bit more about the power of the pause. To live a contemplative life means to live a life that knows how to pause, how to pray using the pause. Last week, the sisters had a retreat, and the long retreat gave us time to pause. From all the moments of deep focus, we went into the renewal of the Spirit because we dared to take time to pause. To pause means to let go of your cell phone for a while. To pause means to just be there, not thinking, not doing. We are human beings, not human doings. One time I was in my veranda looking at the stars. That was last week. We were having this retreat. And I thought, I just want to sit down, not doing anything, not holding my cell phone, but just be there, taking time to pause, looking at the stars. And not even looking at the stars, but just enjoying the cool air. I was on the 4th floor of the St. Catherine building of the Rica Retreat. And there, I just felt a sense of awe, a sense of wonder. Iba talaga pag mabigyan mo panahon ang Panginoon. So, let me share with you about the need for silence in our time. We are all starving for silence kasi napakaingay ng mundo, di ba? Ang daming chaos, ang daming panahon na talaga hindi mo maunawaan, di ba? So the pause is helping us to be renewed. Ang daming mga researches ang nangyari ngayon tungkol dito sa pagpahinga, no? To stop for a while, to pause. Last week sinabi ko sa inyo, ang music hindi maging maganda kung walang rest mode, o rest time, or pause. Hindi nagsasabi, do, di, re, female, di, rak, no. Do, pause, a deer, a female, deer, pause. May pause naman. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Pause. May pause. That helps the music becomes beautiful. So, when there is time to pause, beauty is seen. I remember Amanda Gorman, beautiful poem she recited yesterday during the inauguration of President-elect or President Joe Biden. It was breathtaking. She was a very young poet. Oprah even shared her dangling earrings on her. It's not just the beauty of her face. She's a woman of color. But the way she recited that poem sends you goose hair, sends you some kind of feeling of real pause. And this is what she said. This is step out of the shadows, she said. There is always light if we are brave enough to see. Then she paused. Remember, there is always light if we are brave enough to see or brave enough to be it. There is always light if we are brave enough to be it. And she paused. Which means to say, if we are brave enough, we can be the light. Tayo ay magiging liwanag sa mundo. Tayo ay magiging ilaw sa kadiliman. But if there will be no pause in her, if she did not deliver her poem with pause, then hindi maunawaan. Talagang hindi maunawaan. But the pause allows us to realize the value of that poem. Let me read a little. We do better when we alternate intense focus and after intense focus, that's why napapagod tayo sa sobrang intense na focus. Kailangan natin magpahinga sandali. Kailangan natin yung pause, P-A-U-S-E, hindi pause na pause, ha? It is pause, no? Magpahinga sandali. I don't know how you call that in Tagalog. Pahinga ba? Pahinga lang? Pause? Pahinga? Manatili, ha? Manatili. Manatili sandali. Hindi naman manatili forever and ever. Manatili sandali. So, there is power in the pause. And the pause allows us to recover. When there is a time for retreat, this is a time to recover from all the tiredness, from all the intensity of our focusing, so that there is now time enough to recover and to bring back our good and happy self again. That's why siguro binibigyan tayo ng Panginoon sa moments of sadness, moments of loneliness, para na makapag-pause tayo. I remember David, he was only like 12 years old when I first met him in Belgium. It was my first trip abroad. And Father Cor Lagarway of the Communication Foundations for Asia arranged for that trip para na maka-raise funds po ako doon para sa St. Rose of Lima School Chapel. Our Mother General allowed me to go on that trip to build that chapel. Sabi ni Sister Menchi, practice pala yun. Pinractice lang daw ako ni Lord for a bigger chapel na gagawin natin dito. Since yesterday, we've been praying for the repose of the soul of Bob Francis. Si Bob Francis ay napili ni Father Cor Lagarway na magsundo sa akin sa airport at si Bob Francis mismo ang nagsabi, I will take care of her. I will help her raise the money in Belgium. So Bob Francis was at the airport and we arrived in their house. It was a bit disarrayed. It was my first time also to spend time, not in the convent this time, but in a person's house. It was almost like, how do you call that when you go to the bundok and stay with families? You have a term for that? Immersion. It was my immersion to a family. To a family with how many children? David, Sammy, Rebecca, Esther, apat ang babies nila. So the letter of David, now who is 47 years old, told me about Sammy, Samuel, who is his younger brother, who wanted to become a gardener, a farmer. So he became that kasi in Belgium, kung gusto ka magiging farmer, napaka-expensive. Kasi you have to buy a tractor, you have to buy everything that you need in farming. Hindi lamang yung sa atin dito, parang medyo ang mga farmers, hindi super rich, no? Pero over there, nagiging super rich ang mga farmers, but they have to buy all the materials before they do it. But anyway, I'm getting off tangent. Samuel, in his life, became very discouraged in his life, to the point that his wife left him. This is the story of David that I read today. He was telling me about the death of Bob Francis, who brought me to places and we raised the money for St. Rose of Lima School. But Samuel committed suicide. He drank poison. He lived one more week in intense pain, and it was painful for the whole family, Catholic family, missionary family. And it was very painful for them. After a while of 1 week, the doctor put Samuel in a coma. But never did he wake up anymore. He passed on. After that, David lost faith in God. he said he didn't go to church anymore. He was so angry with God. Why did you get Samuel? Sammy was his best friend. It became a pain in their family. It was very painful to realize that a Catholic family like him and like Samuel, like Bob Francis, would lose Samuel. And so he said he was like that. He drank 10 beers a day. He was very angry with everybody. He lost contact with the church for years, until one day he paused. He went inside a church. He said, it's now free to go to this church in Antwerp, in Belgium. So I might as well go. It's free. I listen to the organ music and just sit there. But the pause did him wonders. He sat there, and then, out of the blues, he said, I just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And it was a great release of the pain in my heart. And I realized I needed to just sit down and pause and take a break from all the pain in my heart. And that is when I went back to God. From that day on, he said, he still drank beer. But instead of 10 beers, he only drank 1 beer a day. And he's now 47. And he said he is living with acceptance and forgiveness of events that happened in his life. He cannot understand why a good man like Sammy will lose his wife and Sammy will lose his mind over that event. But now he said he has lived with great acceptance. So pause means to turn off the noise in our mind. We have internal noise and external noise all around us. But sometimes the internal noise is very, very painful. How can we do that? So first, we need to recharge our energy. It helps us develop inner wisdom. It helps us feel connected. The pause is helping us to have a natural transition. So what is the power of the pause? What can we do to develop this power? First, to develop a gratitude pause. Take some time to just be grateful. Sisters, can you make like 5 things that you are grateful for every day? I think gratitude pause is good. Next is journal pause. Maybe we can sit down in our journal, just take some break, 1 minute, 2 minutes to do our journal pause. A breath pause. The breath. Take time to breathe and be conscious of the breath. A creativity pause. Like Sister Ding, I like her photos. She takes time to just do, not really to post it on Facebook, but to get pictures. That's creativity. Or to take just time to just sit outside. For instance, here at Regina Rica, meron tayo dito waterfalls. Ang ganda-ganda ng waterfalls ngayon kasi tudo yung ulan kagabi. Oh, you just look. Not doing anything. Just look. And that's pause. There is power in that. And we acknowledge the good we already have. Meister Eckhart Tolle said, acknowledge the good you already have, and that is one way towards abundance. Sometimes we are not abundantly blessed or we do not discover abundance in our life because we don't see all these endowments, all these good things that we have. So just take time to pause. And contemplative living means taking time to develop that power of the pause. And I hope and pray that as you listen to me, you realize there is power in the pause. Just pause.